Hello you guys, what's up? Welcome back. My name is Daniela. I'm so excited that you're here and welcome to yet another TBR video. It is almost April and the sun is out. I'm feeling good. I feel like I'm finally coming out of my book slump and I think April is gonna be really good. April is of course like the biggest month in publishing in the year, I think, and we've got a new Emily Henry this month. We've got a new Abby Jimenez. We have a new Olive Blake. I've never read Olive Blake before, but this one sounds really interesting to me. I've heard it is very good, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. And of course, I've just picked up the new Hunger Games book that came out this week. I've got a few fun new ones from the library, so I think we've got a really great month of reading ahead of us. And there are a lot of books on the cart that I'm really looking forward to reading, so we will see what our little jar has in store for us today. Let's get right into the prompts. Prompt number 1 is going to be a mystery book. Okay, this is really fun. I have a few options. This book I just got out from the library. It's called The Queens of Crime. We have A Curious Beginning. That's a mystery book. We've got Who is Maud Dixon, Pride and Premeditation, His and Hers, The Whisper Network, and of course this little baby, and then There Were None. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with my library book pick because I just got it out from the library a couple of days ago. I actually started reading it. I'm not very far in. I've only read 25 pages, but I just picked up The Queens of Crime. This book just came out either in February or in March. I put a hold in for it at the library as soon as I heard about it, and my hold finally just came in, and I'm so excited to read this one. This is a historical mystery book. It's set in the 1930s and it's about a group of female mystery crime authors. So it's all like real women. The group is made up of Dorothy Sayers, Agatha Christie, Nio Marsh, I actually don't know a few of these, Marjorie Allingham, and Baroness Emma Orchie. They call themselves the Queens of Crime, and they're trying to like gain legitimacy as women in society and women with their male crime author counterparts, because the men are just not taking them as seriously as women authors in the 1930s. And so they decide to form this special group, and I think from what I understand they want to start solving mysteries together, and they're gonna try and solve real life crime mysteries and whodunits in London. And they think that if they team up they can actually solve real mysteries because they're creating and solving these mysteries in their books, and so they want to try and do that in real life for real clients. Then there's like a very mysterious murder that comes up and they decide they're gonna solve it, but one of them might be the next victim. So it seems really interesting. Immediately upon reading it, the first few chapters, like I'm totally drawn in. The chapters are really short, which is great. It's really fast paced. The intro is so little, like you just dive right into the story. And so I'm really appreciating that as someone who's just coming out of a book slump. So I think this is gonna be a fun one. Okay, that was number 1. Number 2, a library book. Wonderful. These are all very simple. Okay, so this book that I've just chosen obviously is from the library. Also from the library right now we have The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love, A Curious Beginning, and Back After This. All of these books are ones that I want to read. I think I'm gonna choose The Ornithologist though, because I had this one on my February TBR, which my library is so gracious, and it is now the end of March. I've had this since January. They're totally chill that I still have it. I think the library will let you keep books if no one else has them on hold for like 3 or 4 months now, which I love. So I wanted to read this in February. I was supposed to buddy read it with Chelsea, and I never was able to get around to it because my reading slump was just so bad. I just wasn't reading anything. But I feel like now is the perfect time. It is kind of giving spring. The back synopsis, this is kind of funny. The back synopsis says, rival ornithologists hunt through England for a rare magical bird in this historical fantasy rom-com reminiscent of Indiana Jones, but with manners, tea, and helicopter parasols. So this book is about 2 rival ornithologists. The female one absolutely hates the male one because she was right on the cusp of discovering this rare new bird, and then her male coworker kind of swoops in and was like, I discovered it, I found it. And so she's really mad, she's really angry about that. And then they get kind of like put together, I believe. They get paired together because they're going on a hunt and they're trying to find this new species, and if they find it, it'll be like huge fame and glory and prestige for both of them, but they don't think that they can do it alone, so they're gonna work together and try and find this new bird. It sounds so silly. I've heard it's very silly and kind of fun and funny, which is exactly what I need. Also, I just feel like any sort of historical like Regency era historical book feels so springy to me, and I think that this one is like perfect for this time of year. So I'm actually really excited for this, and hopefully I will actually get to it this month. Moving right along, that has been pretty quick and painless so far. Prompt number 3. A classic! Oh, this is one that I actually really wanted to get this month because I really would like to do a little Jane Austen spring moment. I have never read Jane Austen before, and I'm not familiar with most of her work, and so I really wanted to do a fun Jane Austen spring and read through some of her books. So I've got my whole collection right here of Jane Austen books. I have this cute little box set, and I believe it's everything that she's written. So we have Emma, Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Persuasion, Northanger Abbey, and Mansfield Park. If you are a Jane Austen reader, a Jane Austen expert, let me know which one I should start with. I don't know which one I'm gonna pick out of these yet, so I'll leave it open to you. Leave me a comment and tell me which book is the best first book to start with for Jane Austen. I'm really excited. I think this is gonna be really fun. And I think a classic in the spring, perfect way to spend the season. So if there is one of these that you feel strongly that I should start with, do let me know in the comments. I'm gonna leave it open for now. I'm not sure which one I'm gonna pick yet, but for a classic, I will be reading a Jane Austen book, one of these 6. Prompt number 4. A book with a movie or TV adaptation. Okay, do I have that? Oh, yes. Okay, we've got Lessons in Chemistry. Can I count the new Hunger Games book? Like, I know they're coming out with a movie adaptation. It's obviously not out yet, but they have announced it, I think. I think Ready Player One. My gosh, I've had Ready Player One on this TBR cart for so long. Oh, there's also The Hobbit. Okay, so we've got a few choices to make. I'm not gonna include the new Hunger Games book for this one. I don't know if it counts yet. I'm gonna hold off on that one. Maybe it'll come up in a later prompt because I'm definitely gonna read that one. So we'll wait. But for a book that has a TV or movie adaptation, I have Lessons in Chemistry, I have Ready Player One, or I have The Hobbit. All of these books I'm really interested in and really intrigued by. I've also had them all for a very long time and have been wanting to read them. So I'm trying to decide which one I'm like the most excited to watch the adaptation for, because I feel like that's such a good motivator. And I don't think it's Ready Player One. I don't think that one's gonna make the cut this time. I've had it on multiple TBRs and have never gotten to it yet, and I'm gonna continue to put it off. I'm sorry. So that leaves Lessons in Chemistry or The Hobbit. I do really want to have like a Lord of the Rings Hobbit summer. So I kind of had this idea last summer and I never got to do it, but I want to do like The Hobbit and then each of the Lord of the Ring books over each month of the summer. If I do this in April, then it would be like April, May, June, July. Then I would be done by August. So should I wait one more month or should I start it in April? And if I don't finish it, then I can read it into May. I think I'm leaning The Hobbit. It also feels pretty different from obviously the other books. The other thing is that like I know this one's gonna be pretty sad and I'm not really in the mood for that right now. So I think I'm gonna go with The Hobbit. I'm really excited. I've never read Lord of the Rings. I've never watched any of the movies. I don't know anything about this world, truly at all. I did start The Hobbit last summer. I've read 140 pages, but I think I'll start it over because I don't remember it too clearly. Yeah, I really want to do just like a slow Hobbit girl summer, slow like reading of these books for the first time. Let me know if you want to see me reading these in a vlog. I feel like that could be kind of fun. But yeah, this feels really out of left field for me. It's not the type of fantasy that I would normally gravitate towards or pick up, but I do feel like it's time. I also have some friends that are like really big Lord of the Rings fans that really want to do a movie marathon. So once I read this, then we can at least watch the Hobbit movies together, because I think there's multiple Hobbit movies, right? I have no idea. I feel like that's the best motivator, is to read the book to get to watch the film. So the book for prompt number 4 is going to be The Hobbit. Honestly, loving this TBR so far. It feels really fun, very whimsical. Okay. Number 5. 5. Yeah, prompt number 5. A book outside of your comfort zone. Okay. I do feel like I have a lot of books outside my comfort zone here, which is why they've all been on my cart for so long and I've been avoiding them. Some of the books that feel very intimidating to me: Yellowface, Of Women and Salt, The Unmaking of June Farrow, Homecoming, The Dictionary of Lost Words. The Nightingale feels, I'm a little scared to get into that one. Kind of Beautiful World, Where Are You? Mostly I'm just nervous because Sally Rooney is so hit or miss for me. And then not really anything down here. Okay, so it's gonna be between these books. None of these are outside of my comfort zone genre-wise, really. They just seem very overwhelming to me to get into. Like, the Nightingale and Homecoming are both like very chunky historical fiction books that feel very daunting and very overwhelming, and like I'm gonna have to really focus on them. And then Yellowface, I don't know, I've just been intimidated by R.F. Kuang. So I know that this is probably her most approachable book, but still feels overwhelming to me. And then The Unmaking of June Farrow has been on my TBR for a while. I picked this up in January at a little free library, the luckiest find of my life. And I think I'm just intimidated by like the magical realism aspect of it. I feel like it just might be kind of slow and take me a while to get through. That being said, I do feel like maybe now is the perfect time of year to read this book because everything is so like fresh and new, springy and magical. Like, if there's any magical time of year, it's spring, that's for sure. So I don't know. I'm leaning towards this, which I am terrified of, and also Homecoming, but this feels like this is like a monster. This is a brick of a book. Yeah, 550 pages. Or I could just choose Of Women and Salt because it's like 200 pages or something like that. 204 pages. This book just feels like a very serious book to me. That is why it feels outside of my comfort zone. Oh, should I pick June Farrow? Should I pick? I think I'm gonna go with The Unmaking of June Farrow for this one because it is just enough outside of my comfort zone that I think I'll enjoy it. I don't know what I'm overwhelmed by or scared of for this. It just feels like something that I've never read before, I guess. I don't know. It also kind of seems like it's gonna be very slow and lyrical, which is very daunting to me because I am a very plot-driven girl, so it does seem overwhelming. But at the same time, it's on my 25 books for 2025. I found it and I was so excited to have it, and I'm so curious about it. So I think this is the one that I'm gonna pick, and we'll see how it goes. I know that a lot of people really love this book, so I don't think I'll dislike it. I just think it might be difficult for me to get into. But yeah, that is prompt number 5, Unmaking of June Farrow. All right, let's keep moving. Okay. Prompt number 6, a book with a person on the cover. Okay, let's have a quick look. Do you think this counts as a person? I don't think so, it's just eyeballs. No. Yep. Oh, we've got a lot of choices. Okay, this is like half of the cart here. We've got so many options for this one. So we have A Lady's Guide to Mischief and Mayhem, The Siren of Sussex, Flying Solo, The Simple Wild. This is maybe doesn't count as a person, but The Whisper Network, The Alice Network, Beautiful World, Where Are You? Lots of people on there. The Masterpiece, Mad About You, The Dutch House, Lessons in Chemistry, and Back After This. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 books. Books that I immediately know I'm not going to be in the mood for this month. I know that even if they're on my TBR, I'm not going to reach for them. Beautiful World, Where Are You? The Alice Network, The Whisper Network, The Simple Wild. I'm so reluctant to read this one. I don't know why. Flying Solo feels more summery to me. I don't know. I could read these. I'm not really feeling like The Dutch House right now. I am really intrigued to read Tom Lake this month because that feels like the spring book. And then because we already have a few historicals, I don't think I'm gonna get to The Masterpiece either. So that leaves us with 5 books now out of our 12. We've got A Lady's Guide to Mischief and Mayhem, The Siren of Sussex, Back After This, Lessons in Chemistry, and Mad About You. I think I might pick Mad About You by Vari McFarlane. Yeah, because I read a Vari McFarlane book way back, I think like 2020 I read one of her books and I really loved it. And then, let me just scooch those over. And then I tried to read, what's her really popular one? I tried to read that one a few years ago. Pause. Okay, we're back. Okay, sorry, I just had to open my front door really quickly. I don't totally remember what we're talking about, but I think I'm gonna go with Mad About You by Vari McFarlane. I read a Vari McFarlane book a really long time ago. I think it was like in 2020 or 2021, and I really enjoyed it. And then I tried to read her other book that's really popular. Oh, I think that one is called Just Last Night, and I started that one on audiobook, and I didn't read anything about it. I went into it blindly because I knew I liked Vari McFarlane's writing, and so I just wanted to dive into the book, and I started listening to it on audiobook. And there is like a very dramatic scene that happens in the beginning, and it deals a lot with grief throughout the book. And at that time I was going through probably like the deepest grief of my life. I was grieving the loss of someone that I loved that had passed away very suddenly. And so I felt so triggered reading this book. I immediately was like freaking out, going into panic, and I had to put it down. That's like a little side tangent. And that was back in 2021. And so since then, I have not picked up another Vari McFarlane book, but I did find this one in a little free library a while ago, and I've heard good things about it. I know a lot of people are really coming to love Vari McFarlane recently, and so I do want to read more of her books. I feel like if I'm mentally more prepared to go into it, I'll enjoy them more and I'll know what I'm dealing with. However, this one doesn't feel like it has any trigger warnings for me at all. All that to say, I think I'm gonna choose Mad About You for book number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Book number 6 for the TBR. This book is, this book kind of feels like it's similar to Funny Story in some aspects. This book is about Harriet, and Harriet gets proposed to by her boyfriend, her long-term boyfriend. She kind of freaks out and she breaks up with him, and she's like, oh my gosh, I don't think I want to get married. Then enter Cal, and Cal kind of went through a similar, it says he just experienced his own wedding related disaster. So Harriet and Cal then become roommates, and then they become friends, and it kind of evolves from there. So that seems really sweet. I do think that Vari McFarlane is a great writer, and I'm really intrigued to read more of her books. So I think, what even was this prompt? Oh, a book with a person on the cover. So I think for a book with a person on the cover, this one has 2 people, I'm gonna pick Mad About You. Okie dokie. We've got lots of reorganization to go on here. Moving right along. Okay, prompt number 7 on your 25 for 2025 list. I love getting to cross off some more books from the yearly TBR. On that TBR, we've got A Curious Beginning. We've got Tom Lake. I think The Homecoming is on there. Could be wrong. Let me just check really quick. Okay, actually, on my TBR already, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 books from my 25 in 2025. So that is feeling pretty good. The rest of the books that I physically have right now that are on that list are Dance of Thieves, The Nightingale, Homecoming, A Curious Beginning, and Tom Lake. And to me, it's pretty obvious. I am going to go with Tom Lake. This is like a very easy choice for me. I've been saving this book for spring, so April feels perfect, and I've been looking forward to this book for a very long time, ever since it came out. I love Ann Patchett, I love her writing, and I haven't heard a negative thing about this book, so I've been waiting to really pick it up at the right time and savor it, and that time is finally here. I feel like if you've been around for these TBR videos before, you've seen me be like, I can't read that one yet, I can't read it yet, but I think it's time. We have arrived. Tom Lake is about a mom and her daughters, and it is set during the pandemic on their family cherry farm. They all come home to spend lockdown together at the family cherry farm, and they ask their mom about her youth, and she kind of goes into this story and talks about her time in New York City when she was younger, specifically her time with a very famous actor that she used to know. I feel like it's gonna be beautiful. It might be a little bit slow, but it's one that I really want to take my time with and savor throughout the whole of spring. So I'm really excited for this one, and I'm so glad that it came up in one of the prompts because I really wanted to pick this one. So that is Tom Lake, book number 7. Oh, this is such a good TBR so far. I'm loving it. I think we're gonna go with one more book. I'm just gonna put these guys away. For the very last prompt, let's see what it's going to be. Okay, prompt number 7, the very last one. No, 8. I think this is number 8. Random number generator chooses a book. How very fun. Okay, so let's just quickly count. We've got 1, 2, 3,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 29, 30, 31, 32, on the back, 33, 34, 35.
36 books. Let's get the number generator going. So we'll put 36 in here. 36 and generate. Number 36. The very last book on here is, okay, interesting. Book number 36 is The Only One Left by Riley Sager. This is good. I don't really have anything thrilling or very fast-paced, I guess, on the TBR, so this could be a fun palate cleanser book, and probably not one that I would have chosen. This seems really creepy. I am a certified chicken, and I've never read a Riley Sager book before. This does sound interesting. It's about a girl who was like accused of murdering her entire family, and now she's like a very old lady. It's many, many years later, and she has like a caretaker, but she doesn't talk, I think. Yeah, she's mute, and so she has this new caretaker, and she decides to tell this young caretaker her story. So it seems very chilling, to say the least. A little bit scary. We'll see how I do. I feel like it probably seems spookier than it actually is in reality, but I don't know. If you've read this one, what are your thoughts? Do let me know. I am very intrigued, so hopefully I'll get the chance to get to it this month. But that is prompt number 8, book number 8 on the April TBR, and that is a wrap. Okay, that is all for my April TBR. Let's really quickly go over all of the prompts and all of the books together. Prompt number 1 was a mystery or thriller, and for that I chose The Queens of Crime. Then we had a library book, and I chose The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love. Next up, we pulled a classic, so I will be reading a Jane Austen book. Please do leave a comment down below for which one you think that I should pick to read first. Then the next prompt was a book with a movie or TV adaptation, and for that I'm going to be reading The Hobbit. Then we chose a book outside of your comfort zone, and for that I will be diving into The Unmaking of June Farrow. Then for a book with a person on the cover, I chose Mad About You by Vari McFarlane. For a book on my 25 in 2025, I'm choosing Tom Lake. And of course, lastly, the random number generator chose The Only One Left for Us by Riley Sager. I'm hoping that I actually get to reading these books. I think so far this year I read, I don't remember what was on my January TBR, but I read 0 of my February TBR. So far, we still have some time left in March, but so far I have only read 1 of my March TBR books. And so hopefully in April, I'll be able to knock it out of the park and actually read all 8 of these books. I feel like I would have such a good reading month in April, and I feel like April is the best reading month anyways. I'm gonna try and go for it and actually read all of these books on my TBR. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on any of these books, any book on my cart, anything you're reading in April. I would love to chat with you. And if you enjoyed this video, please do be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I love ya, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!